Hey everyone. The reason why I'm feeling kind of down today, it was because, you see, after I did my review of Harry Potter, a friend of mine told me that the author who wrote the books of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, I heard that she's planning on writing, the good news is she's going to be writing some more stories about Harry Potter, but the reason why I'm depressed is because she decided to make our beloved hero be gay. In the story, Harry Potter discovers that Albus Dumbledore, the headmaster, had a gay lover, and sooner or later, Harry Potter's going to cheat on Ginny with a gay guy. J.K. Rowling, you really disappointed me. You really disappointed me this time. I always hated when people always changed our characters that we knew and loved, you know? It's just wrong. Well, anyway, folks, I'm sure some of you don't want to hear me talk about Harry Potter, and I guess I'll do another review about another sorcerer, just to boost up my spirits. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you all been waiting for. And this is about a mystical, magical sorcerer. As you can see, I'm back again as the great and powerful Oz, to review a sorcerer who is a Marvel superhero. And the person I'm going to be telling you today is, in fact, Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. This is a reprint copy of the comic. Tell you the truth, I didn't know anything about Doctor Strange back then, but as I came across that comic, I have to tell you one thing. Doctor Strange makes Harry Potter be nothing more but another Grimm's fairy tale. Now, of course, this is what he looks like where he first came out, but there was more into it in the story. Now, first you're going to know about him. I'm going to clue you in about his origin. He started out as Dr. Stephen Strange, and he was a great surgeon. He was a doctor of medical, and he's a surgeon, so he's good on, operating on people, cutting them up, and knowing what their problem is. But here was the problem about Dr. Strange. He was very cocky and kind of ignorant. You see, he said that he'll only help people depends on how much they're going to pay him. Tell me that doesn't remind you of any doctor who always thinks more about money instead of people, right? Anyway, he was so good in his job that he decided to, only help those who will pay him to do these operations. And everybody hated him for being that cocky. And then all of a sudden this happens. He gets into a car accident, and that accident caused his entire skeletal of his hands to shatter. So pretty much the bones in his entire hand was cracked beyond repair. So now his hands is all shaky and cannot straighten when he's working on a scalpel. And some of the doctors would let him be around as an assistant and not a head surgeon. But of course, Dr. Strange didn't want that. He wants to try everything in order to fix his hands. So, sadly, he spent all of his money for any kind of surgery, any healing tea, or, I mean, sometimes he even gone to those stupid people who thinks they're healing people by drinking some herbs and spice and whatever. And he spent all of his money to fix his hands that he ended up broke. So now he lives his life as a homeless person with shattered hands. Don't even know what to do. And as, well, actually, I got some pictures on the comic to show you, so. Anyway, as he became homeless, as he became homeless, he heard he was standing next to a pier, probably thinking about suicide because he thinks he never could go on being a surgeon. So, what he did is that one of the sailors, they were talking to another sailor, and they were mentioning about that there is the Ancient One. Now, the Ancient One, he is a Sorcerer Supreme, and they say he's the most powerful being in the world that nobody knows where he's from. Oh, here we go. That's him being cocky and all. And then the car accident left his hands. Don't even know what to do. And therefore left him homeless. So he hitched on a boat and went to Tibet, because that's where the Ancient One is at. He's in a palace up in Tibet, as you can see from this picture here. And there he meets the Ancient One. Now, the Ancient One, he would refuse to help his hand because how selfish he is. But one thing about the Ancient One, he sees some potential in Steve. So he wants him to stay in his palace for a while. And of course he used his magic to use the snow to block the stairway so he cannot get out of the palace. So now he's stuck in the palace for a while. And as he got stuck on the palace, all of a sudden he came across this one sorcerer who is the Ancient One's apprentice. But he goes by the name of Baron Mordo. But one problem about Baron Mordo is Stephen Strange can see the dark side within Baron Mordo, because he can tell he's really evil. And one thing Baron Mordo wants to be, he wants to be a Sorcerer Supreme so he can use his magic to rule the world. Anyway, here's Dr. Stephen Strange from my encyclopedia. That's what he looks like today. And of course, he discovers that the Ancient One has a servant, a manservant, who goes by the name of Wong. He is the Ancient One's apprentice. So, pretty much he's like an eager student who is ready to learn under the Ancient One's wing. And of course, he starts to notice that Baron Mordo is conjuring up evil, dark spells in order to kill the Ancient One. So Stephen Strange, he decided to warn the Ancient One about Baron Mordo. But Baron Mordo, he knew that Stephen Strange was eavesdropping on him. And there's what Baron Mordo looks like, right here. The guy in green and lime green, that's Mordo. Anyway, what Baron Mordo tried to do, he decided to shut Stephen up. So he did a spell so he'll never be able to talk to the Ancient One ever. And as he was conjuring up his spells and ready to kill the Ancient One, speak of the devil, here's the Ancient One right now. That's what he looks like. Imagine that. Anyway, it turns out that Baron Mordo was about ready to do a spell and was about ready to kill the Ancient One, and Stephen Strange can't do anything about it. But as it turns out, the Ancient One did a counter curse, and it blocked that spell. So that's good for him. Anyway, as the Ancient One told Baron Mordo that he was done with his training, he let Baron Mordo go. Oh, and here's Wong, the manservant. That's what he looks like. Anyway, throughout the comic, Baron Mordo left, and all of a sudden the spell that he put on Dr. Stephen Strange wear off. And as it turns out, the Ancient One knew what Baron Mordo was trying to do, because he failed to be his apprentice. And as he saw a lot of potential into Dr. Stephen Strange, Dr. Strange decided, okay, why don't you teach me about your ways of sorcery? So the Ancient One taught Stephen Strange the art of magic, sorcery, witchcraft, and so forth. And he also gave him these special gloves that keeps his hands still while he's doing his spells. And even gave him a special cape, acting like a fourth layer, like a second pair of hands in case if he fell off a cliff. And also gave him a medallion that he wears around the neck. And it acts like a special third eye open to different dimensions and all. And therefore he became Dr. Stephen Strange, Sorcerer Supreme and Master of the Mystical Arts. Not bad, huh? Eat your heart out, Harry Potter. I mean, no disrespect, but, you know, at least there's another type of heroic wizard that I like. And of course, throughout Dr. Stephen Strange's journey, battling against evil sorcerers and Baron Mordo and so forth. But Baron Mordo, he's like his arch nemesis, but his number one enemy of all. Now this evil enemy of all, he's from the dark dimension. And he ain't Lucifer or Satan. He's just this character is made entirely of magic. And he's from a dark dimension where all the spells and curses and everything came from. Now, don't laugh over his name, but this is his name goes. And this is what he looks like. His name is Lord Dormammu. And that's Dormammu right there. I know, some of you people are thinking he kind of looks like Ghost Rider. But that's how they designed him. And you know what I've been hoping for? Every time I look at Dormammu, I'm just thinking of Tim Curry's voice doing the voice. I'm thinking about Tim Curry doing the voice of Dormammu. You know, something like, "Hello, Dr. Stephen Strange. I am Dormammu, Lord of the Dark Dimension." Not bad, huh? And of course, Dr. Stephen Strange, he has a love interest. As it turns out, Dormammu has a daughter, and she goes by the name of Clea. She was trying to rule the dark dimension because she doesn't like her father, so she's a good soul. She's a good person. But as Dormammu took over the dark dimension, he left her for dead. So Dr. Stephen Strange, he took pity on her, so he took her under his cape and put him into the Sanctum Sanctorum. That's the building where Dr. Strange lived. And he starts teaching her about magic. And, of course, they both fell in love. And this is what Clea looks like right now. That's Clea. It's kind of interesting to know all the magical stuff and all. And don't worry. I mean, even though they're created by Stan Lee, he ain't using any Latin word like on the Harry Potter books or use abracadabra. He just Stan Lee decided to use some gibberish words in order to just to make magical words like libbity bobbity goobity boo, shibbity babbity babba glue, lubbity babbity goobity babba, shibbity gotta boobity boo. I know, I sound a little bit like Mel Torme, huh? And of course, there was another character that I thought would be pretty interesting. Yumar. She's an evil sorceress from the Dark Dimension, and also Dumamu's wife and Clea's stepmother. And that's what she looks like right here. Be kind of interesting if Dumamu and Umar is involved, along with Baron Mordo. And those are the characters in the comic. Now, Dr. Stephen Strange, first time I saw him, let me ask you something. The first time I saw Dr. Stephen Strange, he makes me think of Vincent Price. You know, that famous actor who did a lot of good movies. Either he plays sinister or a good character. It'd be pretty interesting to see, it'd be pretty interesting if Vincent Price was alive and a little younger to play that character. And I think the inspiration of Dr. Stephen Strange was from that Vincent Price movie, The Raven. You know, one with Vincent Price as a wizard and Peter Lorre as a sorcerer who turned into a raven by Boris Karloff. And of course, Jack Nicholson was in there as well. He was very young at the time, before he became famous. That's right. Oh, Jack was in that movie. Anyway, back to Dr. Stephen Strange. One time they did made a TV movie of it, and it wasn't that good. It was made in the 70s, and the movie was so psychedelic. Heck, I even saw it. I mean, it was an on-air pilot. Since the population of the Incredible Hulk was really big, they decided to do another Marvel superhero, Doctor Strange. And look at the actor, Peter Hulton. That's him playing Doctor Strange right here. He looks like Steve Guttenberg with a perm. Nothing like Vincent Price. And now I hear there's going to be a movie of Doctor Strange. Well, before they made the movies coming out now, they made an animated movie, which I say was pretty awesome. And I think this one was based more to the ultimate universe of Doctor Strange. You know, the ultimate alternate universe of the Marvel Universe. And now I hear that the new movie they're going to make, it's going to be played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange. I just hope they made him look like he's middle-aged, because that's how they made him look like in the comic. And I think middle-aged superheroes are way better than hip, young superheroes. It's kind of like what SpongeBob says. Old people are the greatest. They're full of wisdom and experience. Anyway, I also heard that there are some other casts, like I heard some British actress who played the White Witch on Chronicles of Narnia is playing the Ancient One, so it's kind of odd for a British actress to play the Ancient One. She ain't Asian nor a guy. I just hope it doesn't turn out as ridiculous. What's that there? Hello, I am Dr. Stephen Strange, and I like Multi-Voice Reviewer. He did my character so justice. And I do agree what he said.
That guy does look like Steve Gutenberg with a perm.
Doctor Strange?
Yes, my good friend.
What are you doing here?
I want to congratulate you for doing a job well done. I never know how long it would take for you to do a good review of the Sorcerer Supreme myself, Doctor Strange.
What about me?
Who's that?
I am Dr. Fate from the DC Comics, and I'm a Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, but the difference between you is that I never die, and you always have somebody to replace you. You always have one person to take your part after you die, and then and so on and so forth. And that helmet is your signature.
Of course, but surely I should have been as great and should do a movie about me.
But you're the kind of sorcerer people look up to. I'm the one people relate to.
He is true, though, guys. I mean, seriously. I would have liked you, Dr. Fate, but it's kind of hard for you to catch up to and kind of difficult to do a movie about you. So that's why you, Doctor Strange, is a lot better Sorcerer Supreme than Dr. Fate.
Well, I suppose you're right. Excuse me. Well, thank you very much for telling a good review about me.
Anytime, Doctor. It's not often that you get Doctor Strange to appear on your show, huh? Anyway, what do you think about Benedict Cumberbatch playing you?
Well, he's no Vincent Price, but I think he'll do a lot better. Anyway, if you excuse me, Baron Mordo is on the run, and Dormammu is up to no good, so I gotta take care of things. Toodaloo.
Kalonsoff!
Imagine that. Well, folks, that's my review of Doctor Strange, and if you like about it, please leave a comment down below and subscribe. Anyway, I'm